time. Alright guys, so today's like our little final FSA review. I'm recording this, so maybe this weekend you guys might spend like 5 minutes, go back and look at it. You know, when you're bored, when you're waiting for Fortnite to load, whatever it is, hopefully you'll look at it, okay? So, the first thing we're going to go over, and these are going to be a couple different videos. I'm going to try to divide them up and keep them somewhat small. First thing we're going to go over is adding and subtracting fractions, okay? We're going to do with like denominators, with unlike denominators. We're going to use really easy fractions because all I want you to know is how to do it. I want you to understand the process. That's it. So we're going to use really easy fractions, okay? So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add fractions with a like denominator. Okay? So over here my topic is going to be adding fractions with like denominators. Okay? And the fraction we're going to add, and this is going to be so simple, is 2/5 plus 1/5. Okay? And whenever we're adding and subtracting fractions, we always want to write it vertical. Even if it's not written this way in the problem or written this way in our book, we always want to write it vertical, up and down, okay? Because that's going to help us if we have to change the denominator. Okay? And our first step, since we have a like denominator, our first step is just going to be add the numerators. Okay? So, 2 plus 1 is 3. Our second step. Keep the same, or keep the denominator the same. Okay? So all we're going to do is bring down the 5. Okay? And our final step, sometimes we don't even have to do it. It's simplify or reduce if possible. Okay? And in this problem, can we reduce Clayton? Why? They're both odd numbers. They're both prime numbers. The only thing that goes into 3 and 1 is 1 in itself, okay? So we can't reduce or simplify, okay? Simple. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do add in fractions with unlike denominators. Okay? And our problem for this is going to be another really simple problem. 2/3 plus 2/5. And we're going to make sure that we always keep it vertically, okay? So up and down. Now our steps are going to change a little bit because we don't have a common denominator. So the first thing we got to do is we have to find the least common denominator. And we're going to use that with LCM, which is the least common multiple. Okay? Now, I know that I can look at this right now, and I know that 3 and 5, I know the least common multiple is 15. And I know that all you guys know that right now, okay? But I want to show you a strategy so that if we don't know it, okay? And what we're going to do, let's say if we didn't know our common denominator, we'd find the least common multiple. And the way we would do that is we would list 3 and we would list 5. Okay? And then I would go 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Okay? And I know that right there I would stop because I know 5 goes into 15. So down here I would do 5, 10, 15. And as soon as I got numbers that matched in both the least common the multiples of 3 and the multiples of 5, I would stop and I would circle this. One of the reasons that doing that really helps us is because our next step, we have to make an equivalent fraction with the LCM. Okay? So, when we make an equivalent fraction, and everybody really needs to pay attention right here, we should do, we know that our least common denominator is going to be 15, right? We figured that out. Well, 5 goes into 15. We had to do 5 times 3 equals 15. So whatever we do to the denominator, we have to do to the numerator. So we should have 2 times 3 equals 6. Okay? Same thing up here. 3 times 5 equals 15. So we should have 2 times 5, which gives us 10. Okay? And then our final answer would be 10 plus 6, because our third step is going to go right back up to here. So all we're going to do is, and I'm going to draw an arrow. We're going to take a shortcut. We're going to go right back up to here. So our next step would be add the numerators. 10 plus 6, 16. Keep the denominator the same, 15. Okay? And then the last thing we have to do is we have to simplify it if possible. One way to simplify this is if I did, remember fractions are all about division? So I could do 16 divided by 15, okay? So if I had 16 over here, and I did 16 divided by 15, 15 goes into 16 one time. Okay? What's left? 1. So the number I put up here is going to be my whole number. Okay? The number that's left over, what's left, is going to be my numerator. Okay? And then right here is going to be my what?
Denominator.
The denominator, okay? So that would give me 1 and 1 15ths. Okay? How do we feel about this? Thumbs up, thumbs down? Okay. Pretty easy, right? I used easy numbers on purpose because I just want you guys to understand the process, okay?